Hi everyone, welcome back into the Academy here at Chesterfield Golf Club. It's lovely to have you along. We've got a horrible wet and windy evening out there, so it's lovely to be indoors and nice dry. My name is Warren Bennett. That all things you could probably hear is called Trev. He's enjoying his ball, as you can hear. So got a great exercise and a great drill to give you today to help you with your compression. You know, if you're struggling to hit the ball off the floor, especially with an iron, this is a great one for you. I love exercises that can give you feedback straight away and can help you straight away. This is definitely one. So let's get on to it. So ball position with our 7-iron, which I've got here, but I would encourage you with all your shorter irons to have maybe just forward of centre. Now with this exercise, I'd like you to put the ball a little bit more forward. Let's say if I put a ball where it normally would be about here. So you can see now I've put the ball more off my left toe. Now what that's going to do is obviously you're going to now have to get some lateral movement into your downswing. Now people we give and clients we give this exercise to, they go a little bit too early. So what I'd like you to do is still make sure you get into this nice coil on the backswing, and that's going to give you the key to unlock this real forward momentum. Because what I see a lot of people, when I go and play the course with a lot of people, if they're struggling to hit the ball first, and especially with their fat shots, what they tend to do is bring the ball back further in their stance, thinking that might help with hitting the ball first. Now, obviously it can, but what you're actually doing is kind of compounding the problem, because what people aren't doing is moving laterally forward when they do that. When they put the ball back in their stance, obviously that's exaggerated for the effect of the video, but what they're actually doing is then holding back even more so. So if I had the ball off my back foot here, I'm not going to instinctively move forward here. I'm going to have to hold back and hit the ball. So it's compounding the problem more and more. So if you want to stop that, get the ball more forward in your stance. Now for an exercise like this, that's over-exaggerated to start with. So ball forward exercises, 6 inches, that's where it would normally be in my stance. So when you think about it, we've really now got to get lateral, and the more lateral you can get, the less spin out of it you're going to have. So you're going to really have to encourage some weight transference. So nice and smooth to start with. Let's really get forward as much as you can. If you ever hear the term using the ground, this is what you're going to have to do. Remember, good coil away from the ball. Sorry about the squeaking. Good coil away from the ball, and you're going to really have to pressurize this left side. We don't want any spinning out too early right now. This is all about getting weight onto our left side. It's what's called posting, and obviously this is exaggerated. Posting is getting into your left side and then turning through. And this exercise is all about getting weight onto your left side as quick as possible and as soon as possible when we come down. Let's try another one, 6 inches forward, right off our left toe. Trev's safe now. As much forward as you can. Really exaggerate that forward momentum. Now you might have to move a little bit with your head, but I want you to feel like you're really doing this with your with your waist and your legs. Really getting some weight onto that front leg there. Really putting weight into that left side. So yes, you've seen the power move video. You might have seen the power move where we're holding back, which is absolutely fine, which I still want you to do. But this is a real kind of game changer very quickly. So if you want to improve your striking straight away, you've really got to get moving onto that left side. Because remember, we're not spinning out of it too early here and holding back. So I like exercises that are kind of changing the needle quickly and really moving. You see, I'm having to walk after that there. So you can hit a few like that. One more, you can do a few practice swings, and you can see with this movement forward and this lateral movement forward, you can see I've changed the camera slightly for this exercise, but you can see my left arm and my left side is in the way of the shot a little bit more, which is going to help with a little bit more of a lateral drop here, a little bit more of a drop in the inside. So anyone who's coming over the top, this would be a great one for you. Right, let's see if I can go a little bit more. Wow, that's like 8 inches now. Really had to move. Now you don't want to do it too much so you're just throwing yourself forward, because remember, the more you don't want to be throwing your top half forward, you want to be really trying to press into this ground. So it's like your left leg is still bent halfway down. Exaggerated, but that's a real using the ground and pressurizing the ground so you can then create the compression into the ball. So I'd say not too much, maybe 4 to 6 inches forward of where it would be. Remember, you're not leaning forward with your head. There's obviously going to be a little bit of a lateral motion. Your shoulders are still kind of in the way of the shot. You can still, my shoulders in the way, but you're really pressurizing the ground with your left side. Okay, one more. Okay, so that's the last one of the ball really forward. Then what you can do, you can start bringing it back. Let's meet in the middle somewhere, but we're still going to feel like the ball's up here. So really feel like the ball's here, because remember, we're trying to hit this ball turf. It's exaggerated, but if you want to get away from fatting the ball, this is a really good one, and especially over the top as well. Remember, still work on that coil away from the ball. We're not just picking the club up and trying to cheat and chop across it. Remember, any exercise has got to be done properly. So remember, get into that coil to start with, and then really forward as much as you can. Because you'd rather be that impact. Remember, if we're exaggerating this, let's imagine this is impact here. You'd rather be this side of the fence with just your kind of your calf and a little bit of your shoulder behind the ball instead of this side. So you'd rather create that kind of late shot, late hit, than an early scoop. You'll hit it further, much better in the wind, much more controlling of your spin. Overall, it's much better to be this side of the fence, hands forward, because remember, your arms and your hands are only reacting to where your shoulders are. So you've really got to get this side of the fence. You don't want to be back behind the ball and open. You want to be forward and squarer. Then you can really create that squeeze. Whoops. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have seen I hit a little squirty one to the right there. So my feedback then is I probably leant into that too much with my shoulders. I didn't get into it enough with my left leg. I probably just leant into it that way. As you can see from the front view, I kind of just went this way. Probably came over the top of it a little bit too much. So let's not exaggerate it too much. Let's get into that left side. Let's not spin out of it. That was better. Still the momentum, you see, is taking me towards the target, not back away from it. So now you can kind of do a few practice swings away from the ball. But imagine the ball, just for effect here, I'm showing you where the ball would be. Now I'm still going to imagine I'm going to hit the ground way past the ball here. Forward. You can still, I'm really pressurising that left side. My hands out in front of me. And you can see now my hands and my arms are reacting to where my shoulders are, which are this side of the ball, not this side of the ball. So if you're suffering from early extension, have a look to see where your pressure is halfway down to the ball. My pressure now halfway down to the ball, or 3/4 of the way down. My pressure's still into my left side. I haven't let go of that pressure yet. I'm still low, which is going to make me hit past the ball. Okay, same feeling with a normal ball position now. Remember, don't cheat and go too far back. Where we are normally, kind of still the same feelings of pressure into the left side. Ooh, that felt squeezed. Because remember, you're trying to imitate impact, but remember, in golf, when we start, we actually don't start at impact, obviously. We start kind of neutral, hands slightly ahead. But when we want to hit it, we want to get our hands really ahead of the ball before we hit it. And the only way to do that is to get some pressure and get some lateral force before we spin away from it. That's what a lot of elite golfers do. And I'm putting professionals in that bracket too. A lot of club golfers who struggle especially with distance and slicing, they lose that pressure early. Exaggerated there. But they lose that pressure. There's no pressure into this. They haven't got any lateral movement at all before they spin. They actually got too much rotation with no lateral force at all. So I'm really using that ground, if you've heard that statement. I'm in Trev here, normal ball position. Really force that movement into the ground there. So there's no backing away, so you can feel it into my toes, straight into my left foot there, pretty solid throughout. I'm not onto my toes at all, I'm just into my left side. And then spin away. So it's a great exercise. Exercise number 1. Let's move these balls in position. Exercise number 1, let's get the ball right off our left toe. And we're really trying to move forward to hit the ball. It's exaggerated. Movement number 2 is this ball slightly more to where we'd be. But we're really moving into the ball. Remember the target's that way, that's where we want our weight shift to be. Same thing, let's really feel the movement into the side, into our left side. Oh, that felt squeezed. So if you ever want to introduce a little bit more lag, a little bit more natural speed, this is a great exercise. Remember the ball forward exercise is a great one to get you into that and to give you that feedback, to get you into that correct impact compression. Okay, so next time you go to the range, obviously this isn't for the golf course. Don't take this onto the golf course unless you're just practicing on the course. Take this onto the range and you'll really feel that ball turf, because feeling that squeeze is a great confidence booster, and you'll hit less club into the green, and obviously your approach play will become a little bit more consistent, because if you've got strike, you've got more consistency. If you're thinning it and topping it and fatting it, it's going to be very hard for you to be consistent from there and obviously improve. So hopefully that helps. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for everyone for subscribing and liking and commenting. Please go ahead and chuck as many questions at me as you can, and I'll do my best to answer them, and I'll see you, well, we'll see you on the next one, won't we, Trev? Good boy. Okay, thanks folks, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheerio.